Jean-Michel Basquiat and Keith Haring were two of the art world's biggest stars. They were both active in the New York art scene at the same time. Keith Haring first gained recognition for his public subway art, characterized by its use of bold, bright colors and simply sketched figures that almost always seemed to be in motion. One exception would be this painting here. To me, the X's on the figures' faces indicates death. The figures are overlapping and piled on top of one another. The bright yellow and red colors are shockingly juxtaposed with what seem to be a pile of corpses. This painting points to one of Haring's most prominent themes, that of death and the AIDS epidemic. Throughout the 1980s, Haring, as a gay man, watched many of his friends and loved ones die of AIDS, and was eventually diagnosed with AIDS himself. Perhaps his most famous statement on the AIDS epidemic was "Silence equals death." This painting features a large pink triangle on a black background with many overlapping figures drawn in white. They are all covering their eyes, mouths, or ears with their hands. The pink triangle is a symbol that dates back to Nazi Germany. It was used to classify homosexuals. When first discovered, AIDS was originally called GRID, gay-related infectious disease. Even years later, it was thought to be largely a gay man's affliction, though we now know better. When I look at this painting, it brings to mind the stigma that is attached to the disease and the state of fear that gay men were subjected to in the 80s. The dollar sign is a symbol that appears repeatedly in Haring's work. Figures are seen copulating with the symbol, running from a monstrous anthropomorphized version of the symbol, and raising their hands towards it as it burns. To me, these works symbolize capitalist greed, as well as the encroachment of technology. Jean-Michel Basquiat was born in 1960 to a Haitian father and a Puerto Rican mother. Basquiat has said that his heritage was a large influence on his work. Like Haring, it was Basquiat's public graffiti that first garnered him recognition. Haring and Basquiat were both classified as neo-expressionistic painters, and they both used their art to speak on topics important to them. Some of the themes that repeatedly occur in Basquiat's work are his multicultural heritage, the Black American experience, and his personal heroes. Basquiat often incorporated text into his paintings, giving added depth to what at first appears to be childlike and simple. While neither Basquiat nor Haring is of African descent, they both exhibit Africanisms in their work, such as Haring's emotive figures that resemble tribal artwork and his interest in African politics, to Basquiat's commentary on the African American experience here in America. I believe that while neither artist's work can be truly considered African art, they are certainly heavily influenced by it, and were open about that influence on their work while they were alive.